Hey everybody, it's Carlos, Immortals Inc. podcast. How y'all doing? Back again. I got Mikey.
We're doing good. We're here.
Over on the keyboard.
We're stuck in the dungeon.
If you like what we're doing, take a moment to subscribe and like and all that other stuff from our previous videos. And
speaking of previous videos,
yeah, that's why we're here. I'm going to do a follow-up. I'm going to do a follow-up to the Dark Sun video.
had a lot of comments.
A lot more. It
was an awesome discussion.
Yeah. It exploded on me because usually we only do things locally. Like I'm really talking to like customers or local guys or just a few people, but then apparently I reached a subject that everybody wanted to hear about. So I'm like, all right, well, let me put my actual real talking
real glasses. Yeah, you have prop glasses this whole time,
yeah.
And then you had to put the
let
real
me put
glasses
my real
on.
glasses on. Remember what I learned in journalism school or high school or English.
Is that what they call high school now?
I don't.
Journalism school?
I don't remember. Back then they had a class. I took it. We had a lot of comments. We had a good discussion in there. It wasn't like just rah.
It wasn't chaos.
No. It was nicely discussion.
Almost.
I had a lot.
I had to delete a few.
Did you?
I did.
Okay. But it was all pretty good stuff. There was even one comment like a young lady's like, "You're boring," but at least she put why. So then I'm like, all right, I can take that.
Yeah.
You know? So here.
You respect that.
Yeah, I
can
can respect that.
it.
I can respect that. A lot of people had good ideas. Well, the Dark Sun controversy has, and I actually watched the video. It was from Bob Worldbuilder. He did an interview with a D&D executive named Kyle Brink. And he had a bunch of questions. And it wasn't like they dwelled on it or had it. And it was like I kind of like, unfortunately, ran with it. I only look with a headline and get a light little invest into it. And I should have looked a little deeper because when he actually did the interview, it was like a question. He asked the question, the Bob guy asked the question, and he'll put this link in the.
Yeah, I'll put his channel down
because
below.
He is a nice channel, and he just asked the question. He said, "I already know the answer to this, but blah," and it's like, would you bring Dark Sun back? And the guy's answer was just at this time it was problematic, and he didn't really go into too much more unless there's an interview part I didn't see or they deleted or took out, but he never really went into anything more than one I saw. So I don't know. I think a lot of people jump to conclusions, but then again, I don't know, but I could see why, and we can all see why. And it was the basic ones were like the slavery, the eugenics, the subject matter. As a big company such as Wizards, I'm going to play devil's advocate. I could see why that would be a problem to publish to the masses. You know what I'm saying? They're everywhere. They're mainstream. They're coming out with a movie. Everybody knows what it is. And to push something like that out, I could see where they'd be like, I don't really want to reach this matter right now.
Not to mention, somebody talked about that didn't make money back then.
Yeah, there was another guy you had on there. It was a book I'm going to read, and I should have wrote him down, but I didn't. I'm sorry. But in the comments, there was a book that said that financially that wasn't the best seller for whatever reason. So maybe it was a financial matter. They could have been a financial matter. Hey, it's not the best idea right now. So you couple those two things together, a touchy subject matter for such a big company, and then it wasn't that financially great. Like if you we're going to make billions of dollars on this, no matter what somebody says, okay, we'll do it. It's a company. You're going to make money. That's what you want to do. But if you're like, you're looking at maybe a decent profit, but then if we causes all these problems that, why? It'd be the same thing as a small business. Like I could bring in a product that I think's cool, but if nobody likes it, then what's the point? I'm just wasting money.
Yeah.
So another thing they said was, would there be any supplements? Because supplements cost money. Like a lot of their main lines, like Ravenloft, Spelljammer, Forgotten Realms. You're not seeing a lot of the supplements coming out. You're more seeing like core books come out, and you're more seeing one shots or a couple books maybe from the settings,
like third parties and even stuff like that.
Well, third parties are the ones working on some of it, but I don't think they do because they don't have a license.
Yeah.
Which brings another point of third party. If they were maybe to lease or sell or allow a third party to use that license, they could just let them do it. I don't know. Like, how about this question? Would Cobalt Press publish it as it was?
Yeah.
Would they do that? Is that a good?
I could see them doing something in the future that's super closely related to that, but it's just like a different name.
Well, there's a game they published, and I'm going to get it in. It's called Dragon Kings, and it's kind of like it. It's like you look at it, you're like, that looks really familiar. Is that a?
Yeah, you're like dragon people.
I don't want to throw them under the bus, but it looks pretty close.
Yeah, dragon people, darkness.
Yeah. But it's like,
Horrible stuff.
would a major third-party company, would they be willing to publish this in the same way? They might go, financially it was all right. Depends. I mean, if you're a smaller company and you think it would generate a lot of revenue, if you did, then yeah, it would be worth it for you. People might complain or might, protest it or have an issue with it, but you're a smaller company. Like,
yeah, it's not as bad.
The whole risk reward thing, the
liability for clout.
The spoils go to the I can't even remember that saying now.
I just made my own,
No, you didn't. Like the greater the risk, the greater the chance of success or payout. And then, it's also that you could tank out and you lose it.
Yeah.
It's like any business. Or just play the old system. If you liked it, play it, or
get some people together.
Incorporate what you like into it. But
people are making their own stuff anyways nowadays.
And a lot of people were like, hey, maybe Wizards don't do it right now because you don't want it to be ruined. And I'm like, all right, I see your point on that. They didn't say it so politely, but they were like, there was a lot of words used to describe that. But yes. Yeah, if Wizards did it, they might change it so much that it's not the Dark Sun that you remember, or it takes so much away from it. So maybe it is better to just leave it alone, And like I said, I watched the interview, and it was a short little snippet. We'll put the link in there. You can watch the whole thing. They talked about a bunch of other stuff and relevant stuff. I think somebody maybe grabbed a hold of that and ran with it more.
That was Bob World Builder, right?
Bob World Builder on a YouTube channel.
Links below.
But then again, if there is more to that interview that I didn't see, then let me know, if you don't mind. And we'll go from there. But that's as factual as I can get about that.
Yeah.
And
basically just leave you with the question, do you leave it as is, or do you...
Yeah, and there was a lot. They made it sound like there's all this controversy. Like he came out and said a bunch of stuff. He said some other stuff that I'm not even going to go into.
He said some pretty...
Yeah, he said some...
edgier stuff than that.
But as far as the Dark Sun thing, which that's why it affected me, because I've seen some of the stuff they've done, and I'm like, oh, don't do that to Dark Sun, or don't mess up Dark Sun, or why would he do this? And I just wanted to, in the first video, I just wanted to say, hey, this is a cool setting if you never heard of it. Like if you saw that video and they're like, we're not going to do it, and you didn't even take a look at it, I didn't want that. Take a look at it. If somebody tells you, that's one of the rules. If somebody tells you not to read something, read it, because
nice backstory.
There's probably a reason for it. So, but yeah, take a look at it and everything like that. But as far as the facts, that's as factual as I can get, as far as I know. So, take the link in the bottom, go watch the interview for yourself. If there's more interview that I didn't see that he discusses it in greater detail, please let me know.
Yeah, put a link in the comments to that video.
We'll take a look at it. But I really appreciated all the comments. It was a nice discussion. I talked to a lot of people. It was
a fun video.
It was exciting. And but you did have there could be so many other issues on why they didn't do this or why they didn't want to do this. And I understand that, especially if it's financial. If it's like, hey, this doesn't pay out as much as it should. I get it. I get it. Because like Spelljammer, everybody wanted Spelljammer, and then right in the middle of this big release, they had an issue, and they said, hey, we got to reprint this and remove it. So you had to modify books. So all these other old books, you're sitting on them now. Now that's a bad financial decision,
Sure.
My opinion about that is my opinion.
Your opinion, again.
Should have said, hey, But then again,
opinion.
That's a whole different thing. So, I mean, if you want me to talk about that, I will, but
that's another video.
I'd have to get a lot of, let me hear about that,
Right.
So. All right, guys, if you like what you heard, or you like us and you want to see more, or you want to learn more about games or toys or
all the above,
whatever we got going on, give us a subscribe, give us a like, visit us.
At it. You got to point at it.
Sorry, I'm not pointing at myself.
Yeah, you're pointing at yourself. It's me. It's about me.
Immortalsinc.com.
Immortalsinc.com, Patreon, Twitter, Blue Check,
Twitter, everything. Just type us in and we'll pop up in a bunch of places.
All of our new subscribers that are watching this now, welcome. And
thanks for talking.
Yeah, thanks for talking.